Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be ranking all of the adult petite knit patterns I've knit during my years as a knitter. I've been watching a lot of these videos from other YouTubers and I was really intrigued to find out how many of the adult patterns from petite knit I've made myself. And when I started making the list, I ended up with a total amount of 37 patterns. So I've knit 37 patterns from petite knit for adults. And the reason I am specifying for adults is because I've knit a lot of her patterns for children as well. But I figured I'll make a separate videos ranking those and just do the male and female patterns today. I will be talking both about garments and accessories. I'm not even sure this list actually includes everything because I might have forgotten something. But I did go through her website and just check every category and make a note of everyone I've made. I do not own all of the garments anymore. Some I've gifted, some I've sold off. But I have gathered this ginormous pile of petite knit garments. And the reason I'm laughing is because this is just ridiculous. And the thing is, I haven't knit these just once. Many of these I've knit multiple times. So I'm guessing if I were to count every repeat of a pattern, there would probably be like 50 garments just for adults, which is insane. And I need to evaluate how I pick patterns for next year, but that is a story for a different day. Today we are just ranking the 37 patterns I've knit by petite knit. I will be ranking these purely subjectively. I will consider how much I enjoy wearing the piece, how much I enjoyed knitting the piece. I won't rank yarn choices or anything because those are quite personal to people. I've knit a lot in the suggested yarns, I've swapped yarns, so I won't really take that into account. Also, I wanted to just announce, proclaim that I knit my garments from petite knit in anything from a size small to large. I measure myself and I pick patterns or the size based of my measurements. So obviously my ranking, my thought on the patterns and the garments will be subjective to how I feel wearing them, and they might feel different for someone who's smaller or bigger than me. You know, this is personal to everyone, how much and how a garment fits and everything. I will be using the tiered ranking list. I think that's what it's called. I'll insert a picture of it here. You've probably seen it before, and I'll place patterns on it as we go. I have no idea if I will be able to complete this video in just one sitting because I don't have a lot of time today, but we'll see how far I get and if I have to do a second or even third recording. I'll try to not talk too much about each pattern because I think we will just get lost on a trail there. I'll just start picking stuff out of this pile, and I'll start with garments because those are the most interesting. And let's just see where this takes us. I'm just rummaging through because I want to do it in the order on my list, which will make the editing process a lot easier. So I'm just looking for the first sweater. Let's start nice and neutral with the Monday sweater by petite knit. I've knit mine in hand-dyed yarn. It is my first garment in a hand-dyed yarn. And the Monday sweater is just a basic raglan sweater featuring 3 raglan stitches on the shoulders. It has a double folded collar. I think you do some double knitting to make the fold. It has some nice decreases. I've knit mine kind of cropped, which I almost always do to better fit high-waisted jeans and skirts and stuff. I don't have a ton to say about the Monday sweater. It is a nice, neutral, perfect staple sweater. It is not my favorite raglan sweater from petite knit. I don't know why. because it has like, it feels like such a luxurious sweater. It has all of the whistles and blows and bells and jingle bells and everything. It has short rows, it has shaping, it has Italian bind off. So it is a beautiful sweater. It's easy to wear, easy to throw on. I've knit it twice, but nothing that like blows my mind. So I think this will be like maybe a B, because it's not bad, but it's not like great. Maybe a C. I'll do a C, just because it's a nice sweater, but I don't find that this is the one I go for the most. It's just, maybe it feels too good, you know. There's just too many details, but it's nice to knit. It's really fun to have all of these different parts to it, but I'll put it on a C. It's a nice, just middle of the field sweater from PetiteKnit. The next one is also a raglan sweater, and this is one of PetiteKnit's oldest patterns, and I believe this is the one like she went kind of viral and is most known for, and it is the no frills sweater. I've knit mine in one strand of long yarns, Donegal tweed, I believe the yarn is called. This does not have a folded collar, it has just like a single layer collar. It has a one stitch raglan. It does not feature Italian bind off in the pattern, but obviously you could do it. It has some decreases before you do the ribbing at the bottom, and this is what makes the entire sweater for me. And this is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater, and PetiteKnit deserves all the fame in the world she got from this sweater, because this is such a beautiful piece of sweater. I find I reached for this much more than the Monday sweater, even though the Monday sweater is a more complicated sweater. It has more of those luxurious details. This also has the short rows in the neck. It has beautiful shaping, and I just like the fit of the no frill sweater more. So I am tempted to actually set this in the S tier, just because this is what I would consider a perfect basic sweater that I reach for a lot, that I can wear all the time. I find it's easy to dress up, it's easy to dress down, I can wear it with a shirt, without a shirt, you know, all of those things. I will say that I would probably benefit from inserting an elastic in the neck, just because it's a little bit wide, which might be my fault and not the pattern's fault, but is also a little bit because of the construction, because you knit the collar first, and because it is not double, you don't have like something pulling it in on itself. But I kind of like that as well, because it sits quite nice and flat on my chest. So yeah, this is a S all the way. I love this sweater. Third up on my list is the Lyon sweater, which is one of PetiteKnit's kinda new-ish patterns. I believe it's from last summer. This is knit in with a set-in sleeve construction, which is a lot of fun to do, but you do have to like really think is the word. You have to think while you're doing it, which is quite entertaining. It's not just a plain raglan or anything. I knit mine in a yarn that's 50-50 wool and cotton to make it more summery. This is Dale Lerke, and it's striped and it's beautiful. I knit this before I really knew my colors, so I don't feel like I reach for this too much, but it's a beautiful sweater for summer, and I would like to redo it in like gray and blue or something like that. I don't find that I reach for this too often. It's like something I'll wear casually. I don't really wear it a lot. I wear it in the summer. I don't care if this gets ruined, you know, it's not a nice sweater for me. It's definitely one that I want to just wear without being too precious about it. I did knit the sleeves a bit too short, which might contribute to me not feeling this is one of my favorites. I'm not sure about how much I enjoy this set-in sleeve construction. I don't find it's too flattering on me. I don't know why. I just don't enjoy it that much. It was fun to knit and it's beautiful, but there is just something about this shoulder construction that doesn't sit right on my body. I think I have quite rounded shoulders, so that might be it, I don't know. It's nothing wrong, but it's nothing like to write home about, you know. I probably put this in maybe like a C. I'll do C. I'm kind of neutral about it. It's nice to wear, it's easy to wear, it's a beautiful sweater, just nothing special. Then there is the Marseille sweater, which is also one I have knit multiple times, both for myself and as gifts and as in different yarn combinations. This one is knit in the suggested yarn that is Double Sunday by Sonja's Garn. I knit one in black and white, and is this a sweater I wear a lot. I wear it mostly at home to cozy up in. I used to wear this a lot to work, but it's just gotten so worn out, and you know, the Double Sunday does peel quite badly because it is so soft. So it feels kind of messy now, so I wear it mostly at home and on weekends. But I find that this is such an easy sweater to wear, and I can wear it with pants and jeans and skirts and all kinds of stuff, really. It is a drop shoulder construction and it's really fun to knit. The only thing I would say about this pattern that keeps it from getting into like the S rank is how you cast on for the shoulders. I've knit this multiple times, as I've said, and but I've never gotten the cast on beautiful. You do it with Judy's Magic Cast On, so you're able to create a seamless beginning from where you can't see it in the black, but I would rather just cast on normally and pick up stitches, because for me that makes a more seamless edge than the Magic Cast On. I find it makes it a bit wonky, it makes like little... You can just see it too much, and I find that it stretches a bit on the cast on edge. So I would put this in... I think this is an A for me. The Marseille is an A, just because of how much wear I get out of this and how it sits on my body. I knit it one size down to not have too much positive ease, because it's a quite oversized sweater originally. But yeah, this is a total A for me. It would be an S if I was able to make the cast on edge more beautiful. That's it. Next up on my list is the Moby Sweater Man. I don't have the sweater with me. I don't know where my husband put it. I knit this for my husband last fall in a burnt orange kind of color. It's really beautiful on him. I've knit the Moby sweater both for my husband and for my daughter, and I really want to do one for myself, because I find the Moby sweater is just such a beautiful staple, what do you call it? Cable sweater? And yeah, it's really beautiful. It's kind of oversaturated maybe. Everyone has a Moby sweater. It's such a staple. And I really like knitting it. The first time I knit it for my daughter, I struggled really hard with remembering which way I was supposed to twist the braids and everything, the cables. But after a while, I got a hang of it, and the second time I made it for my husband, I used an iPad to keep my pattern on, and I just color-coded the pattern to fit with my stitch markers. So I would have green stitch markers where I would twist left, and like yellow or where it's right, you know, so it would color match with my stitch markers in the pattern, which made everything a lot easier for me. I'm a really visual person. I can't just remember stuff. I need to visualize them. So I think the Moby sweater is like a B for me, just because it's kind of complicated to knit, even though it's not like, it's kind of enjoyable, but not that enjoyable. And the reason I'm putting it like at a B, because it's a really beautiful sweater, pulling it a little bit down on my ranking just because of how the pattern is split at the end. I won't like tell too much because I don't want to give away the pattern, but it's kind of annoying just how it's split up at the end, and it's kind of hard to keep track when you're like me, who needs to like line take a line through it every round. And it's split into 3 at the end, so you have different counts for each part of the sweater, and it kind of just annoys me. So yeah, it's a beautiful sweater. I would highly recommend doing one. I am going to do one for myself at some point. And if you want to do if this is like your first cable sweater, I think this is a great pattern, because petite knit patterns are always explained so well. And the schematics are good, you know, but it's just, yeah, the way it's split at the end annoys me. So it's a B. Another sweater I no longer own is the Stockholm sweater, but this is one of my favorite petite knit patterns, and I have this high on my list for redoing. I sold it because it was too small for me after pregnancy, and I just need to size up for a new one. And I also no longer wanted the camel color, although it's a beautiful color, it's just not my color. So I'm going to redo it at some point. But the Stockholm sweater is such an easy sweater to wear. It is a drop shoulder construction. You knit it in 2 strands of mohair, which is why I haven't done it again yet, because it can be an expensive sweater to knit. I knit mine in, I think, Isager or Knitting for Olive mohair, and both are really expensive ones, but those are the ones I would recommend for doing a pure mohair, because they don't itch. The Isager mohair is by far the best for non-scratchiness. So the Stockholm sweater is an S for me. It's so easy to put it, it's just right there on top. It's a classic petite knit staple sweater, and if you do it, you'll love it, I promise. Another one of my favorites are the Oslo sweater. This is also a pattern I've done several times. This is my navy blue one. I have sold off my rust red. So this is my navy blue Oslo sweater. The color on this is kind of high, so that's the only thing it's almost like a funnel neck actually. The next time I might do a lower neck, but at the same time I kind of like that it's a different height than a lot of my other basic sweaters. This is a drop shoulder construction, and it has some decreases along the body, as you might see. And it is so easy to wear, so easy to throw on top on anything. And I wear this to the office a lot with a shirt underneath, and I feel so put together. So this is also an S for me. It's, yeah, just one of my favorite sweaters, and I would not hesitate redoing it. It can also be knit in a lot of different yarns, because it is at a DK weight. So I've knit this in 1 strand of merino and a strand of mohair from Sanyas, this version. Now, this is the caramel sweater by Petite Knit, and I love this sweater. I love the color as well. I'm so happy I went with like a bolder color than I usually do. And I'm also sorry about the lighting. It is kind of overcast today, so the sun is like going in and out. But yeah, the caramel sweater, absolutely love it. It is a raglan sweater. It has 1 raglan stitch, and it features 2x2 rib details. I did not do Italian bind off, I just did a good old regular bind off to keep with that kind of rustic feel of the ribbings. I've knit mine kind of cropped. It has a few decreases to do some shaping in the body. I would put this in the S tier, but the thing is that this is a modified caramel sweater. This is not the original caramel sweater, because that features a quite high what do you call them? Like a folded collar, and those are not my style at all. So I did like this kind of mock neck style, I think you call it. So because of that, I will say this is an A. This would be an S if this was the original color, but because I've modified it, I can't really put it up there. Also, I've knit fewer decreases in the sleeves. So yeah, I love the caramel sweater in my modified version of it, so this is an A. Another piece that I don't have with me today, it is because it's hanging at my office, is the champagne cardigan by Petite Knit. I modified this to be quite cropped, so it only has 3 buttons while it's supposed to have 4. I haven't worn this a ton, to be honest. I did it in Knitting for Olive double merino, heavy merino. Yeah, heavy merino. In a beautiful, beautiful blue color. But I finished it kind of late in the season, so I wasn't able to wear it as much as I wanted to. And I also needed to wear it like dresses and skirts, but I don't have a lot of dresses and skirts that fit me at the moment. And I kind of gave up on buying new pieces for summer, so I'll do that next year, I guess. So I think that next year I will be able to wear that cardigan a lot more. But the champagne cardigan is just really beautiful. It's a staple piece, I would say. It has the double knitted button bands. It's all really beautiful. But just because I haven't worn it a lot, I'm kind of hesitant to like put it really high. I think I'll do a C for the champagne cardigan, just because it's kind of the middle of the field for me at this moment. So champagne cardigan, C. The next one is also a piece I don't have here. I have it somewhere. I just wasn't in the mood to rummaging through my storage bins at the moment. But that is the Baloon cardigan by PetiteKnit. This was one of my first PetiteKnit patterns ever. And I made a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of rowing out, so it's not as beautiful to me now as I felt it was back then. But I love the Baloon cardigan. I find that it's such an easy piece to wear, and it's also really beautiful as at its own to wear with just like a camisole or something simple underneath. So I would say that Baloon cardigan's a B for me, also because it's quite near and dear to my heart. But the length of it is good, the construction is really good. It is a raglan, if I'm not mistaken. And it has big balloon sleeves, so it's kind of a nice and easy first time cardigan, I would say. Yeah, knit the Baloon cardigan. It's really fun. Number 11 on my list is the Wednesday sweater. This is a big, chunky sweater, also with a high collar. So again, I don't wear it a lot because of that high collar. It's just, yeah, that's not my thing. I wear it a lot at home if it's really, really cold, but we live in a new build, so it's kinda limited how cold it gets in here. I think if we ever were to move to a house that would be colder in the winter, I would love that sweater. But at the moment, I don't wear it a lot out and about. I just wear it at home. So the Wednesday sweater, I think that's a D for me, just because it's too bulky to really wear under a coat, so I don't feel like I can wear it out of the house. And I don't like the neck on it, and also the double twisted rib is just stupid. I hate doing twisted rib, especially when you have to do both the knits and purls twisted. It's stupid. So yeah, that's a D. Wednesday sweater, D. It's beautiful, but yeah, D. The Aros sweater. This sweater no longer fits me well. I think it's kind of small, it's kind of worn out, but I've worn this so much and I just love how fun the Aros is. I love all of the stripes. I love the novelty of the sweater. You can make such fun sweaters from this pattern. The pattern features both this sweater and the dress version. It would be really fun to do the dress at some point. I don't wear this a lot anymore, as mentioned, just because it's really felted quite bad in the armpits, so it looks kind of weird. But I just can't sell this for any amount of money because it's so much fun to me. And it also is because it features yarn from a lot of different projects. So I can look at this and be like, oh, this is the Ankers suit I made for my niece, and this is a vest that I made that I'll talk about later. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful sweater filled with a lot of memories for me. The purple is also from a baby knit, some leftovers from a baby knit that I gifted one of my friends. So yeah, I'll probably keep wearing this at home at least, just because it is so much fun. a quite recent finished knit for me, which is the Ankers summer blouse. I've knit this multiple times, and I've knit the Ankers pattern multiple times as well. I'm not too happy about my color choice. It's a beautiful color and it actually suits me quite well as well, but pink just, it's a little out there for me. But the Anker is, it's easy to wear, it's easy to throw on. I find it perfect in summer. It's kind of oversized, it's breezy, it's simple, but again, it's nothing like insane about this. It has a circular yoke, so it might be kind of difficult to make it fit as well. So I think the Anker to me is like a C. It's safe, it's cute, but I prefer this pattern for kid knits, I think. And although I get a lot of wear out of my Anker summer blouses, it's a C. Yeah. I did tell you I would be able to do this in one sitting, so we're back for round 2 of ranking all of the PetiteKnit patterns. The next pattern I will talk about is the Cumulus T O-neck, which is a quite recent finished knit for me, so I haven't worn it that much. So it's kind of hard to give you like a review of this. I haven't even properly blocked it yet, so it's still kind of rolling up. The pattern is really nice. The yarn, not so much. This is the Knitting for Olive pure silk. It's a beautiful yarn once you're finished with the piece, but knitting with it, I kind of strained my hands from working monogamously on this. So this is the piece that kind of reminded me that I need more projects in rotation to not like ruin my hands. But yeah, it's a lovely simple t-shirt. Again, it's a raglan construction with a O-neck, like the pattern name suggests. I've knit it cropped as usual, and it has quite long sleeves, which I really enjoy. Just because I haven't worn this too much yet, I don't want to rank it too high, so I think I'll just save it and put it in the C's. I'll put it with the C's, and I'll come back to you if my mind changes on this. Then another piece I no longer own is the Cumulus blouse, which is the sweater version of the Cumulus tee. Just I knit the original one that has more of like a V-neck. This pattern I found quite hard to get the neck right. I found it hard to get the right amount of stitches when I was picking up for the I-cord in the neck, which made it kind of smaller than it was supposed to be. And it might just have something to do with me picking the wrong size or something. I did wear it like a good amount, but after pregnancy and everything, I decided to sell it. And if I'm not sure I would redo it, I would rather do like a Stockholm sweater, which also is a double-stranded mohair piece, as the Cumulus blouse is. I think this will be my first E. Yeah, I'm not that too hyped about the Cumulus blouse, to be honest. It's nice, but it wasn't for me. Now for a piece I know a lot of people really love, and it was such a huge hype when it first launched, and that is the Ingrid sweater. I've knit mine in the original yarn, which is Isager Jensen and Isager mohair, in the beige color that is on the what do you call it? Like the one that's pictured on the pattern. And this isn't my color, so but I really love it, although it's not my color. I wear this a ton. I feel like I can wear this all year round. It's really warm, but I live in Norway and we do have colder evenings even in summer, and so this is just a perfect piece to throw on top of like denim shorts for those colder evenings and days. And I find that this suits a lot of styles a lot. I find it is perfect for autumn. It's cozy, but it also has those summery vibes to it. It's almost like a Guernsey sweater in some kind of way. And I have on my list that I need to re-block the sleeves. I didn't own blocking mats at the time I knit this, so my sleeves are kind of pulled in at different places. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater that is made up of these different patterns horizontally. And the thing that I find that makes me enjoy the Ingrid more than similar patterns is the fact that these, I don't even know what you call them, but they go, can you see that? These strands here, they kind of go under and over and under. So it's these small details. It's not like some of these are just on top of the others. They're nicely weaved into each other. And those details make me really like the Ingrid sweater. Mine is huge. I think I knit one of the smaller sizes. My gauge is totally off, so it's way more oversized than I wanted it to be, but it's just perfect anyway. And I was able to wear this all through my pregnancy and everything. So yeah, this has been with me for a long time, and I would make this again. If I ever had the time to do it, I would probably do it in like gray or something, but I don't know if I will ever get to that, just because I love this so much. Even if it's not in my colors, I will continue wear it. The Ingrid sweater I will rank as an S. This is a top sweater for me, just because I get so much wear out of it. I love the yarn, I love how rustic it is. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend doing the Ingrid sweater. Next up on the list is the Louisiana sweater. This is a piece that is still in progress for me, but I'm almost done with it, so I feel like I've knit enough to say something about it. This is like nothing too out there. It's a raglan sweater that I'm doing from loads of different scraps. Because I haven't worn it yet, it's kind of hard to say how it fits, but it's on quite chunky needles. Yeah, it's a fun knit because it knits up really fast and you can get rid of loads of scraps. I don't think I would ever have bought yarn specifically for this, and I have no idea how much wear I will get out of it, to be honest. So I will rank it as an E just because of that. It's a really nice, simple sweater and also quite beginner friendly just because it knits up quite fast. But the thing is that I don't think that these kind of chunky sweaters are too beginner friendly either, because you can, your hands can get quite strained from knitting. And watching the pictures of like the original yarn, which I think is brushed alpaca, it's not like my favorite look because it's it looks quite unfinished. And I like those pieces that feel quite tailored, that feels almost like you could buy them at a store. And I don't think the Louisiana is quite up there for me, so I'll place it in the E's. Now for my Louvre sweater. I really, really like the Louvre sweater. It is a quite basic raglan. I think you do 2 or 3 raglan stitches. I can't quite see. Also, this is like a big black blob on camera, so you won't be able to see any details. Say big black blob 10 times fast, will you? But I really enjoy the neck. It is a kind of high funnel neck. It is an oversized thing. It has Italian bind off. I knit mine in PetiteKnit, and it has so much wear that it has started to peel quite bad, so I need to use a deep piller on this. And when PetiteKnit pills, it means you have truly, truly worn it a lot. I find that this piece is perfect for the occasions where I really want to wear a nice pair of pants to work, but I'm feeling bloated and kind of insecure about how my belly looks. But then I can just throw this on and don't tuck it. And I will get that kind of oversized, cool Scandinavian vibes. So I find this sweater perfect for that. But I don't think that this is a sweater that really lends well to tucking in general. So it does have some limited use, but I can also wear this to like cozy up at home. So I think this is like, it's a solid B. It's a safe sweater to do. It has some limited use for me, but I really, really love it. And I would be tempted to redo it in like a navy, just because I find it such a good staple piece that it would be nice to have more color options. Next is a sweater I have made multiple times for quite different reasons. People who have followed my Instagram account for years will know that this is a piece that has both traumatized and haunted me over the years, and this is the Novice sweater by PetiteKnit. It is the most simple sweater you can ever knit. The pattern is perfectly written, it has no abbreviations, it's so easy to follow. But I've made this because I have gotten the sizing wrong, I've gotten the increases wrong, I've gotten the length wrong and had to frog the entire thing. One of them got stolen and I had to redo it. So this is just, yeah, it is a piece that has haunted me for a long, long time. I think this is a D to me. Just because of the circular yoke that doesn't always sit well. Like, I've enjoyed wearing this sweater a lot, but I just find it has such limited use. I found that the only really occasions I would wear it was on top of summer summer dresses. But I don't wear a lot of summer dresses anymore, so I don't think I will make the Novice again. I would choose a different pattern, but for a beginner this is a perfect pattern, and it has a lot of different suggestions for different yarns. But to me this has a kind of difficult yarn weight, and also because if you are to knit it in one strand, which would be the best for a beginner, because you wouldn't have to bother with 2 strands, it would be cheaper, and the suggested yarn is a blow yarn. And I don't find that really very easy to substitute, and I don't particularly enjoy blow yarns. So that is why I'll put this on a D. Like, if I had it still and it's fit me, I would wear it. It's not that bad. It's not a bad sweater. Like, PetiteKnit doesn't have any bad things. This is just one that I probably won't knit again. Next up is the Sunday cardigan. It is really pretty. It is a pretty piece. I really enjoy the Sunday yoke. Again, this is a circular yoke that I find kind of hard to get to fit me nicely. Also a kind of difficult yarn weight. It's kind of chunky, so I find it hard to get under coats. I probably didn't pick like the best yarn. It's been quite a few years since I made this. I have it in like a gray, and I picked some Rauma yarn that probably wasn't the best for it. It's too thick, I think, and I end up never wear it. I haven't even put buttons on it just because I didn't really enjoy the result when I was finished. So this is also a D to me, which is kind of sad, but it's just the truth. Number 21 on the list. We're getting somewhere. We're at 21 now. It is the Striber på langs. I don't remember the English name, so I'll put it here. But it has like these horizontal stripes, I guess. It's done in a solid color. I don't own this anymore, which is why I can't hold it up, because again, this is one of the sweaters that became too small for me. Also, I wasn't too happy about the color. Like, I really love the color. I made it in a bottle green, which I think is one of the most beautiful colors on earth. But it's not a color that suits me really well, although I enjoy green. So, you know, long story short, I ended up selling it. I kinda would do this again, but I'm not sure that this is the exact pattern I would pick. I would like to do something similar. But yeah, it is one of the older PetiteKnit patterns. I found some of the instruction kind of finicky, but again, it's been quite a few years since I did it, so I might find the instructions more clear now that I am more experienced. I think this is like a C. It's a beautiful sweater. I'm not sure I will redo it. I might not. It's beautiful, but I wouldn't like, if I had to pick my top 10, I don't think this would be in the top 10. Then we have the poppy tee. And similar to the Lyon, it has like that set-in sleeve construction, which PetiteKnit has done quite a few patterns with recently. This was also, I believe, a pattern from the summer of 2023 and was one of the pieces I made before my daughter was born. I enjoyed knitting it, but I don't like the pearl details on it, which is why I ended up selling it. It features a pearl round before the neck finishing and also at the sleeves and at the rib at the bottom. I so wish I had skipped the pearl rounds. I would have worn this a lot more if it weren't for those. I don't know why they bother me so much. I don't like them. I don't like those kind of details. I just want it to be sleek and simple, and also because of the shoulder construction that I'm kind of on the fence about. I think this will be at a D. I'm really sorry about this. Then there is the Sunday tee, which is one of the pieces I made during the COVID lockdown. When I had all of my meetings on Teams at work and I needed something to get me through the days. So I knit this during all of my Teams meetings. It is a lot of stockinette on 3mm needles, but I've worn this a lot. It isn't my color. It's a slightly like almondy, creamy, beigey thing, but I still wear it a lot, even though it isn't my color, which says that this is something I really enjoy. If I ever have the time, I would probably redo it in like a pearl gray, but I would do it in merino because this cotton, over time, it just doesn't look as nice anymore. But I love this Sunday pattern on 3mm needles. I just find it so sleek and elegant. And also the finishings, where you just... I don't remember what it's called even. You just fold over like this, and it's a really subtle pearl row, and then you fold. I just find this such a beautiful summer piece, and if I were to just make one of PetiteKnit's summer patterns, I think it would be the Sunday tee. So this is up there with the S's for me, just because I love this so much, and it also reminds me of like COVID lockdown, getting to spend a lot of time at home. Yeah, I think someday I will redo this. Yeah, I love this piece. Next up is the Eva cardigan that I have talked about a lot in my podcast. I haven't got it here, and I can't be bothered to get up and get it. I was kind of on the fence when I knit the Eva cardigan. I knit this quite shortly after my daughter was born, which means my body was a quite different shape. I didn't end up enjoying the finished piece, so I left it at the cabin, got it back home like 6 months later because I was intending to frog it to make something else with the yarn. Tried it on, ended up loving it, and now I'm wearing the Eva cardigan a lot. This has also that set-in sleeves shoulders construction that both the Lyon and the poppy tee has, but on the Eva cardigan, I find it works much better for me. Maybe because it is quite oversized, so you get a kind of drop shoulder effect as well. I don't know why, but this is an A to me, I think. I don't think this is like an S. This isn't like a superb, perfect piece to me, but it's definitely an A at the moment. And I find it just fits in with my aesthetic really nicely. I find it's easy to wear both at home and at work. And I find that the pieces that I put on like the A and the S are those where I can wear them in multiple ways. It's not like a piece that I can only wear with certain items of clothing, but they just fluidly fit in with the rest of my wardrobe, which is the pieces I really enjoy the most. So the Eva cardigan, a solid A. Next up is the Stockholm slipover and the Stockholm slipover V-neck. I like put these at the same because they are so similar. The only difference is one has a V-neck and one has like a round neck. The round neck I made for my mom as a Christmas gift a year, and the V-neck I made for myself in a blue to celebrate the premiere of season 3 of The Crown. I took the inspiration for this piece for the promotional material of Princess Diana, and in one of the scenes, like in the engagement scene, she's wearing a blue vest. I love that vest, but it did become too small, so I have to make some new vests. So I sold this. I was considering keeping it just because of sentimental reasons, but I'm not that sentimental. I really loved that vest. So both of these are, I'll put them at like a B, just because, yeah, I think I enjoy wearing vests, but at the moment I have none. So I have to do something about that, I believe. But yeah, these are B. They are nice, simple, staple, basic vest patterns that are easy to knit. Also, they are at a DK weight, so you can make them in multiple different yarn combinations. Yeah, Stockholm slipovers, B. Now we are getting into the accessories portion. We are done with the garments and we are talking about accessories. First up is the weekend hat that I've knit multiple times, both for myself and as gifts. This is a modified version that only has one fold. I've made both the original and the one fold version, and I definitely enjoy the one fold version the most. Which is why I will probably put this in like I'll put it in a C. If this originally featured only one fold, it would probably be an A for me, but because it is a triple fold, or like 3 layers, I find it too bulky at this yarn weight. So this is a C because of that. If you modify it, it's an A. Next is the Cleo clutch, which is a large, cool clutch knit in 2 strands of japansk bomull by Isager. I haven't worn this a ton. I recently wore it to a garden party at work, where it came in really handy because I could fit my umbrella in there, I could fit some snacks, I could fit everything I needed. So although I really think this is a beautiful piece, it's quite finicky with the lining and like the clasp and everything. I don't wear it too much. So although I really like it aesthetically and functionally, I think it's a D. Just because I don't get tons of wear out of it. It's not like an everyday piece for me. And as stated before, the ones I put on top are like the ones I get tons of wear out of, where I feel like the cost is really worth it. I'm not sure. I think the cost of the Cleo clutch was worth it, although it's a fun thing to make. But I don't switch my purses too often, so I don't need too many. But this is one I probably will wear at like functions at work and stuff where I need like more of a clutch, but also need to carry a lot of crap, like you do at a garden party where it's pouring rain and you need an umbrella. I modified it and attached the same chain as PetiteKnit recommends for the winter clutch. So I modified it a bit. So yeah, I'll put it at a D, I think, just because of the modifications I did and the limited amount of use I get out of the piece. Now, the next one. A piece that a lot of people really love, the Sophie scarf. The Sophie scarf, to me, is at the bottom of this tier list. It is an E. And I'm really sorry about it, but I just hate garter stitch so much. It feels like I have to do double amount of knitting. It's not that fun. I don't get to wear it too much because I have a really short neck. So I don't wear the Sophie scarves I've made. So yeah, that's an E. I'm really sorry. I know that a lot of people really love this pattern. It's a nice gift, I guess, but I get bored knitting the Sophie scarf. And it's just the same thing over and over again. And I don't even think this is too beginner friendly because counting your rows in garter stitch is not that easy. So I put markers on the edgings and yeah, no, it's an E. Then we have the beloved Oslo hat. I own both versions of the Oslo hat pattern, both the original and the mohair. This is the mohair version. And I would recommend getting the mohair version because it has more size options. And I really love the Oslo hat. But the thing is, I had to change my needle size. I had to change the length of the top to get it to fit me properly. I had to block it quite extensively to get the folds to be right. So although I love my Oslo hat, now that I put in all of that amount of work, I will rank it at a B. If it was easier to just knit and be finished and be happy, this would totally be an S. Because I love the Oslo hat, I love a good beanie, and I am going to make another Oslo hat for myself this autumn. But just because of the amount of work it takes to get it perfect, it's a B. But I love wearing it. I wear this all the time. During autumn and winter and even spring here in Norway, to be honest. So I would love to have this in more colors and not just this really, really like height of winter black color. So I'll make a new one. But yeah, at the moment, this is a B. The Hipster hat is really beautiful. It has, it is done doing 2x2 ribbing all the way and then decreases. It's really easy to knit, but the decreases are kind of hard to get right. I think I've only done it once where I got the decreases right. So I think this is maybe like a C. I know there are a lot of C's, but this is kind of a C. I like how it looks, but it takes a lot of work to get it right. And also I find that it grows quite a bit because it doesn't have any shaping or anything. You know what? I think the Hipster hat is a D. I'm sorry, but after a while it just grows so much that I never can get the folds back right. And let's just compare it to the Oslo hat that has like a rigid line where you knit down the stitches, and the weekend hat has some double knitting that really keeps the folds where they are supposed to be. But because the Hipster hat doesn't have any like help, I think I'll rank it in a D actually, just because it doesn't hold up well over time. You could probably like size down the needles to get it tighter and to make it hold up better that way, but I think the Hipster hat is a D. I did not expect the Hipster hat to be a D. Next up are the penny gloves. I've knit these multiple times as well, but these are the first pair that I've made for myself. The pattern is really easy to follow. I like the details. I've only worn this once, which was today while doing drop-off. Penny gloves are really beautiful. They're easy to do in loads of different yarns. You could size up needles to do men's size. And the only drawback I have for this pattern is that it is a one size. I wish there was like a small and a large. At least I think it's a one size. So yeah, I think I'll put this with the C's. It's a really handy piece for transitional times of year like autumn and spring. But just because of the limited sizing options and stuff like that, I will put it at a C. And also it's not the funniest thing to knit. I knit the first one and then I just couldn't be bothered to knit the second one before there was like 3 months had passed. So yeah, they're nice, nothing special, but they're nice. C. Now the Ingeborg, which is like just a don't know what you call it in English, but it's like a band you wear around your head and it keeps your ears warm. It's beautiful, but I hate making it so much. And it is just because it is in, what do you call it? You call it, the Ingeborg is knit in brioche. I hate brioche so deeply. I will never do anything in brioche ever again in my life if I can help it. So this is an E. I'm sorry, it's really cute. It's one of the older patterns, like an OG PetiteKnit pattern. And if you want to like test brioche, it will probably be a good pattern to try it out. That was why I knit it. I hated it. I had to frog it so many times. I did end up getting it done, but I don't like it. I'm sorry, but I hate brioche, so this is an E. Then there is the November balaclava, which is also like kind of a funny novelty thing I knit, and I wore probably like twice because I felt so stupid wearing it. But it was such a trending thing during COVID, like that winter, so I just had to knit one to see. It didn't fit me, made me feel weird. It's an E. Then there are the everyday socks. PetiteKnit does have a few socks pattern, and the everyday socks are probably the simplest ones. You just knit down, you do a short row heel, and you knit the end, and you do some decreases to the toe. These are socks that I really enjoy wearing. I've knit this pattern twice. You do have to knit the cuff a bit longer than you think because the heel ends up eating a lot of the length. Or like stealing some of the length in the cuff, but if you do just a few centimeters extra, this is a perfect basic sock pattern. I think this is an A. To me, I would do it again, but you know, it's nothing major about this. It's just a simple pair of socks. But if you have this pattern, you can make lots of different funny socks. You can do stripes, you can, I don't know, have fun with them. I did some color changing yarn with glitter, and they are just a perfect staple sock pattern with not too many frills, not too many unnecessary words. So yeah, I would recommend them. Next up are the Sunday socks, and I've knit these several times, both in the recommended yarn and in yarn that isn't listed. I think these are really pretty. They are kind of chunky 2x2 rib socks. I find these kind of hard to wear in shoes just because of the yarn weight. So I think I'll put these with, this is a B. Like, it's beautiful to wear at home. I would recommend trying to find some yarn that doesn't peel too much. I find that the Sunnes Perfect that are recommended for the pattern peels quite badly. I haven't found a sock yarn at this weight that I really enjoy. So if anyone has recommendations for DK weight sock yarns, I would be really happy about it, and just leave them in the comments. But yeah, Sunday socks, B. They're nice, they're cool, they're cute. Last on my list is the Terrazzo neck, which is really beautiful neck warmer for adults. It has a folded collar and it goes quite down on both of your back and your torso. It's beautiful, but it wasn't for me. I gifted the one I've made for my mom. I wore it a few times myself just to see if I enjoyed wearing it, and I didn't really enjoy wearing it. I found that when I put on a coat, the back piece would like bulge and I would get like a humpback, which isn't the look I'm going for. So this is probably like a D. If you're willing to do the adjustments, it's really pretty. It is a ton of twisted rib again, which is not my favorite, although it is really beautiful. My mom was really happy to get this as a gift, but for me, this would be a D. Now, those were all of my 37 PetiteKnit patterns for adults that I have made through the years. If you're still with me, like, kudos to you, and please remember to like and subscribe. I hope this video is kind of helpful. because there are so many, I feel like I couldn't spend too much time talking about each piece. But if you do have any questions regarding the fit or yarns or colors or anything for any of the pieces, please just drop me a comment below, and I promise I will answer you as best as I can. I really love PetiteKnit patterns, as you might see. I find that they fit my aesthetic so perfectly. I will never excuse having a podcast episode that are featuring a lot of PetiteKnit patterns, just because I truly love her and admire and respect her so much. She's built like a knitting empire, and you have to admire that. She has done something quite unique, I think. But I also think that for 2025, I will shake things up and maybe limit how many PetiteKnit patterns I do, just because I really would like to get to know more designers more. And you know, PetiteKnit will always be there. And for those basic everyday items that I can wear with my entire wardrobe, she will always be like the queen of those kind of patterns. And yeah, I've knit 37 adult patterns of hers, so obviously she's doing something right. Have you knit any of these? Do you have a favorite PetiteKnit pattern? Please leave a comment. I would love to hear. As I said, if you're still here, you're the champion, and I'll see you next time. Bye.